Hi everyone, as you can see I have done quite a bit more colouring since the last video, but please don't panic and worry. It's actually really simple what I've done, and I am going to talk you through it. So to start with, I did these two flowers. Now I did them in exactly the same way as this one, so I used the violet Prismacolor Verithin, and I just did a little darker area here and faded it towards the end of the petal, so on both of those. And then I used the glitter pen that I used for here for there, so that was very straightforward. Now the rest of this is all done in exactly the same colour pencil. I'm trying to remember which one. It was the one that I used here for the leaves of the poinsettia. I'm trying to remember which colour it was. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was this one, but I'm just going to check for you so I don't give you the wrong. They are so similar in colour that it's really hard to know, but I'm pretty sure it was the blue violet that I used. But as I say, it was the same one that I used for the poinsettia flowers and the ivy, and so for all the lines like around the edge and the little tendrils and stems, I just pressed hard and just got as solid a pattern as I could. I'm not very good at doing really solid colouring. And then for these little pieces in here and all the leaves, I just did them darker nearer the sort of stem area and lighter towards the tip in exactly the same way as I did all of those. So that's all I did. It took a while. It was lovely fun, relaxing, one pencil, just colour away. It was great. So that's how I did that. So I haven't done anything too tricky. You can definitely do that. You can stop the video now and have a go if you want, but you might just want to watch on and then do it at the end. That's fine. So what we're going to colour today, as it looks, you know, to be honest, you could just leave it like that apart from the robin, which would do in just a second. But what we're going to do today is the background. I've got a really simple idea, which you can choose to do, or you can leave it, or you can do a little bit of it and leave some of it white, because I actually think the white background behind here looks really good. So I was tempted to leave it, but I'm just going to show you a background I did just so that you've got an idea, and you can use it on this picture or on a different picture or whatever. So we're just going to do this robin first. So let's zoom in so we can see him, because he's teeny tiny. How far in can we get? There we go. I can't push my book up much higher, but there he is. So I'm thinking he's quite a special little character. We're going to do him with some violet for his body, for this main part. I'm just going to sharpen this one because he's really small. I'm going to try to do the tail so it's a little bit darker at either end and lighter in the middle. And I find that makes the feathers look like they're shiny. It's really hard to see when such a small bird. Now what I'm going to do with the main body is actually just fade it towards the tip of the there. But for the head and chest I'm going to go in with a different colour, just because it'll be a little bit more interesting. And this is the violet blue. Now he does have a beak and it's teeny weeny, so I think I'm going to go over it with this colour as I colour, if I can even do it. It's so small. And we'll just colour this bit here. He looks a bit cold in blue, doesn't he? But there we go. I have gone out of the lines at the top. I'm going to try and erase it with my Tombow Mono Zero eraser. It's quite difficult to read that. I think it's faded from where I've used it so much I've sort of rubbed it off, but it's a great little eraser. There we go. Now background. There are lots of things that you could do. You could use your silver glitter pen to go all the way around the outside and leave it at that. I think that would be great fun, but it's quite a big area to colour in a glitter pen. I'm sorry about my mess of pencils, just shove those out of the way. So what I'm going to do is in this space here I'm going to use a pastel, just because it's nice and easy. I'll just show you my pastels as we've zoomed out, so you can have a little look at what I've got. I'm just going to grab a... Now I'm thinking, sorry I'm wrestling to get one of these out. I'm thinking I want a sort of bluey purple, not too dark, very cold. Now the blues for me, these are quite turquoisey, not really dark enough or cold enough, but that one could be, it's very dark. So I'm going to go for this purple here, okay? Now I've rearranged these in my tub. To be honest, I tipped them all over on the floor once. Great. So I had to rearrange them. So I couldn't remember what order they were in. So yours won't be in this order if you've got this set. If you may not have this set. But as I said, just a sort of pale bluey purple, I hope will work. So let's just make some room right in there. Yeah. So I'll keep it all in shot so you can see what I'm doing. I have done this sort of thing before, but you might as well see what I'm doing again. So I used my spongy thing. You can use any sort of sponge. And I'm going to try and get some washable makeup sponges and see whether they work. So I'm just rubbing on the pastel like that. Now some people scrape the pastel onto the page. I used to do that, but it's really messy. So you see I've got a fair bit and I'm just going to see how dark that is. That's fine. Okay, and I'm just going to gently rub some around the page like that, and it'll just give me a slightly more wintry, darker background. It's very easy. Oh, I've gone out the lines. There's no need to worry. I'm going over the top of the pencil. Now, the only thing you have to be wary of is smudging. You don't want to, if you smudge the pencil you've used, then that can be a bit messy. But these don't really smudge as far as I've ever noticed, so I think we'll be fine. And I'm also going, I probably should have coloured that bit in, but I haven't, so there we go. I'm going gently. Now, around these antlers, if I do this, we've got glitter. It's going to smudge it. What I'm going to do is miss that bit out for now and hope that I remember to go back to it. This is where a live video would be useful, because you could all comment at me. Don't forget to go back. But I'm too scared to do live videos at the moment, and I don't have the equipment for it. So I think my children keep telling me if I get a certain piece of software I might be able to do it, and I'd have to learn how to do it, and it just all sounds a bit hard. You know I'm capable of learning these things, but colouring is my joy, not technology. I like to be able to share with you, and I hope that what I'm doing is working. So right, so there, it's quite light and subtle, and that's what I want. I don't want it too dark. Now I'm going to do the antlers. I thought I would leave them until last because they're going to get glitter on my sponge, and although I know, and I'm going to dab rather than scrape, so that I'm hoping that we'll still get some colour down without sort of spreading glitter everywhere. If we rub, the glitter's just going to come off. The glitter will come off eventually because that's what glitter does, but we'll do it this way and hopefully it'll be a little bit neater. At least it's, oh gosh, so windy outside. I heard a bang. I don't know if it was next door or if it was outside. There we go. I'm happy with that. It's quite hard for you to see because the light's shining on that bit, but it is quite even with all the rest. If there are bits that aren't quite even, just go over them again. I'm going over them with my glittery sponge, which anyway, it's not that glittery. And of course, make sure your glitter pen is really dry. Obviously we did this yesterday, but you might not be doing it. You might be doing it straight after. Don't splodge over you. God, that would be a disaster, wouldn't it? Right. Here we go. So that's that bit. That's all I wanted to do with that bit for now. And I decided that I wanted my background part to be in a metallic pen. Now I'll show you the brand of pens that I've chosen. I've got these metallic colour pens, and I have a purple and a blue, and I just scribbled them onto this piece of paper. So this is the blue here, and this is the purple. Sorry, my scribbled notes of what colours I use. And this is a Posca. Now with the Posca you can see the blue, like if I tip it there so you can't see the shine, the Posca looks more blue. So these look quite black. So it's sort of up to you what you want to use. I decided to use this blue. I thought I wanted some blue. We've got purple, so I wanted to use some blue. So the blue looks like this. It's got quite a dark lid. Because I want to use this pen rather than the Posca, partly because it's much quicker and thicker. I'll show you. I won't probably do all of it on camera, but it's got a really thick end, so it's going to be really quick to cover. Can you see? It just goes down really fast. So So it's great for this sort of large area, and if you're doing it in the book, this area is even bigger. I think it might curl my page because this is paint. It's not just like a marker pen. I don't think you can get metallic marker pen. Be a bit careful on the edge there. And this is quite directional. I don't know how bad that's going to look because I'm just going side to side. But I need to make sure I cover all of the paper, and then we won't get white gaps. What I'm going to do is stop the camera and do this because it's very boring for you guys to watch me. And then I'm going to come back in and show you, I've got a few ideas for some finishing touches. So I'm going to show you those afterwards. So I shall just pause and be back. So thank you for watching for now, and do hold on for the end. Right, I am back, and as you can see, I have completed a metallic pen layer around the outside. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of Christmas sparkle to the outside using this really fun star stencil that I was gifted. You can see if I lift it that there are different size stars. I think I'm going to use the big ones on this because it's quite a big area we're going to be covering all the way around. And I'm going to use my a silver glitter pen. It's a little bit sticky, this. I think it's because of the glue from the packet has got on it. So I'm going to use it this way up with the sticky side up so it doesn't stick on my book. And I have used one of them already. It's quite hard to see, and there's a lot of paint all around it where I used it before with a paint pen. So I'm going to use that one again, and what it will do is it will help me to remember which size of star I'm using. So basically you just hold it down on the page and then you just colour in the space. It's really simple, and hopefully you can then reveal a sparkly star. Quite hard to see actually. And so I'm going to put a few. I'm going to do it randomly. I'm not going to try and do it symmetrically because I would just never get that to work. You might find that using a white pen it would show up really well, but I wanted to add some sort of sparkle. So that's why I'm using a glitter pen. Do be careful here. Look, I've got it on top of the other one. I need to make sure I don't smudge it, or else that's going to be a mess. Another idea to make it stand out more would be to use a white pen underneath first and then the glitter pen on top. You'd have to wait for the white to dry. It'd take a bit of time and patience. I'm just going to do these glittery stars. I will leave a link to the stencil if I can find it because I was gifted it. I don't know where it came from, but Amazon usually has most things, so I'll have a look because I've got some packaging. I don't know if it's the right packaging for the item, because the lovely lady that sent it to me actually had two and sent me one, and she kept one, which was great, very kind of her. And so thank you. Right. I suspect you might be watching, lovely lady. And so I'm just doing this quite randomly. I don't really know how well you can see because obviously with a sparkly pen you can only see when the light is in exactly the right direction. But as with all stencils, you need to make sure you're sort of holding it still. If it slips, then your shape doesn't look quite right. So make sure you're doing that. I don't really know many tips. This is quite a thin plastic stencil. When I opened it, I thought, oh, it's going to be a bit tricky, but actually it isn't at all. It's dead easy. So as long as you just peel it really carefully when you've done your star, I think you can probably just about make out the stars there. I can see some of them really clearly. It just, as I said, it just depends how the light falls. It's really, really murky in here today. It's windy and stormy, rainy. It's really nasty. There is a nasty storm in Ireland today because it is the 7th of December still. And yeah, I know actually someone that I follow on Instagram, Dominica Stoper. She has a shop in Ireland and they're actually closing because the storm's coming. She's got to close for 2 days, so I think it's going to be quite nasty. I hope everyone up there stays really safe. Obviously it's a bit late for me to say that now. By the time this video goes out, hopefully it will have passed, and just hopefully there won't have been too much damage. Sometimes I think if a tile comes off your roof or something like that, roof, it can be quite a blessing in disguise, because you can get it fixed before it leaks and causes more damage. But that's just minor, obviously. It all depends what happens. You could do some smaller ones as well if you want to, because obviously here we haven't got a lot of room. I'm just going to do one in this corner, and then I'm going to be happy with those, I think. And I'm going to show you a little bit more. This isn't it. I'm going to add a few more touches too. So there's our stars. Hopefully you can see some of them. I doubt you'll be able to see all of them. Okay. Now on this circle around, I want to do something too. I've just noticed that I've got some glitter there, and I don't know why or where it's come from. It's probably come off the stencil. Yeah, I've got loads of glitter on the stencil. Never mind, I'll give that a clean off in a bit. So I'm going to use my big white Posca pen. Just give it a bit of a shake, get some paint coming out. What I'm going to do is gently hold down that corner, because it's curling, it always does. And I'm just going to put little dots all the way around here. I think in white Posca they'll show up quite well. I think they'll show up a little bit better than the glitter pen. I'm trying to keep them as even as I can, but obviously I'm not measuring them or anything. It's okay. It's just, you know, freehand, it'll be okay. Way round. I think I'll just add a little bit of interest. And although it's not sparkly, try not to put my hands down on the glittery star. I think it's just a little bit different. Oh, look, I went over onto the thing there. Oh well. And this is, the paint's gone over the edge there. I didn't stay in the lines. But you know what I'm like. I'm not the cleanest of colorists or neatest, but you can always make yours a lot neater than I've done mine. I'm trying to find a way to go round so that you can still see, but I'm not putting my hand in the wet bits. It's always a little bit awkward. There we go. So we've got a sort of dotty pattern going around the outside. I want to put some dots on the flowers. I'm going to use silver for that. If I can find my silver pen, here it is. I've got a silver Posca. Doesn't really matter what silver pen you use, a finer one. I'm just getting it going. It doesn't want to get going. I'll give it another shake. It might be running out. It's that time of year when silver pens run out. No, it's working now. Okay, so what I want to do with the silver is on each of the plants. I just want to go like that, 3 dots in the middle of each petal. I don't know how easy that is to see. I don't want to zoom in and out all the time, make you feel sick. So I'm just keeping it big, hoping you can see. Do the same on this side. I'm resting my hand on the plastic rings, which I find really painful. It's the reason why I don't spiral bind any of my books. Hurts. And then this one in the middle here, I'm going to hope that I'm not smudging anything. So I'm doing it on all the leaves, petals, even the ones at the back, but sometimes I can only fit 2 dots in there. Just give it a bit of festive sparkle. What else? We could do some along all of these lines, but I think that might be a little bit too much. I have noticed we haven't done his eye. I'm going to use my black for that. It's just the black. It's a bit far away, isn't it? The black very thin. I could get my hand around without getting glittery. There we go. Now I've actually managed to somehow leave a bit of a white bit in the middle, just coincidentally. You could do a little white dot but I think it looks better. It's not quite so shining. We could put a white, some white on the on here too. I think I will do. I need a finer white. I'm going to use my Gellyroll 05 because it's a lot thinner. It will give us a thinner. So I'm going to do a little dot or line on top of the nose. A little bit there. A little bit there. Could do a few more details on some of the leaves, but actually I'm going to leave it there, I think, or else it's not going to stand out very well. And it's difficult for you to see this corner because the page is turned over due to the, hang on, let me zoom out so you can see the whole page. You'll be able to see the clutter of pencils, pens and pastels on my desk. And I will hold that with my finger and tip it so you can just see the sort of, hopefully, you can see the sparkle. It's a little tricky because the corners have turned up, which always happens when I use a paint pen, but they will flatten again once the book is closed. But there we go. I can't chatter on for much longer. My battery's nearly flat, but I hope you enjoyed that, and you can make your own sort of sparkly festive twist on your picture if you wish to, but there are a few ideas for you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun with that, and it's given you a bit of inspiration. So thank you so much for watching, and happy colouring.